How late are we? We're only a minute late.
Yeah. There we go.
We're only a minute late. I was pasting in links for the live stream today. If you are watching this channel, most likely you're here to see your channel review. We will be reviewing, I think, 15 channels today. Today we are going to be talking all about titles, but we don't do this for our own benefit. We're doing this because we're using you guys as a sales funnel. We'd love for you to be a part of the YouTube Real Estate Video Geeks course, where we teach you how to actually get real video views that convert into real sales for your channel. I mean, that's what we really wanted you to do. We're personally invested in your success, and that's why we give out such great content for free, because all the good stuff is actually in the course. Isn't that right, Joe?
That's exactly right. I mean, a lot of it we're going to give out and maybe give you some aha moments, and maybe teach something that is a little bit different than maybe what you've been taught by other people. And ultimately, our goal is to help you succeed so that you can then not only get more leads, but it also helps promote our course, because you are then our case studies and help us out. So yes, we are giving and we want to give information, but some of it is a little for us, for ourselves. But again, these channel reviews, we look at them. We want to give you real advice. We're not here to make you feel good or to tell you something we don't believe. We're going to really help you. And if you're interested and you really want it, like Christina says, the good stuff's in the course.
Yeah. I'm not and I have, if anybody doesn't know who I am, I have a channel with over 250,000 subscribers. My advice is actual tangible advice. I know I've been there where you're at. I can tell you exactly why some video that didn't succeed, I can tell you why, and I can tell you why one succeeded. And I've learned a lot over the years because I've made those mistakes. I've heard a lot of gurus give a lot of crappy advice, and I don't want you to have to go down the same headaches that I did. But I see it every week, every single week when we do these channel reviews. I'm like, oh no, oh no.
Yeah, we definitely can tell like that when they've gotten some coaching or gotten something and it's the wrong information and they're focusing on the wrong things, and that's why they're not getting the results that they want, even though they're putting in the effort and they're making the videos and they're doing this stuff. They're just missing some pieces. And that's honestly why we are doing these channel reviews, is to assist you in helping your channels like work so that the algorithm will work and you can get more views, which leads to you getting more leads.
Yep. This week is all about titles, and we have a lot of channels to review. So we're done flapping our lips.
Let's get going. Let's go.
Yeah, they don't want to hear us talk about ourselves anymore. I certainly don't. Let me pull up with the first review here. Let me make sure I have the right one, because everybody started putting these in here days ago. I don't know if you know this. So Karen Jackson has the channel. Karen Jackson. Let me see. I hopefully this is her channel. I hopefully I got the right one. Let's see here. Karen Jackson. So she's in Lafayette. Oh, here we are. Share. All right. Finding Your Bliss. Fabulous. No, it's not Lafayette. It's Fayette County. I'm so used to Louisiana. Can you see that?
Yep, I see it. Yep.
All right. So first things we're going to do is we're just looking at video titles today with channel reviews. So let's go into the first. Let's talk about the first video right here with their Project Excalibur, Fayetteville's new data center.
That was uploaded 5 hours ago.
Yep. What do you have to say about the title?
Well, okay, first and foremost, it's a data center, but is she selling like mining equipment for cryptocurrency, or is it real estate? I'm a little bit.
There's disconnect.
Yes, there's disconnect from if she's selling real estate or mining equipment for cryptocurrency. I don't know. I might have more a little bit more understanding if the thumbnail wasn't just a duplicate of what the title is.
Right. I
So
agree.
like,
Yeah. And if this, let's just do it for instance. If this was about, crypto mining, right? That title's still not very engaging, right?
no.
So if it was me and you were going to do a title for something like this, I would be like, what no one's telling you about Project Excalibur. This could save you tons, something
Yes.
more enticing and engaging. The second thing is on her next title is 5872 Margaret Circle Atlanta. That is that's reading a encyclopedia, right?
Yeah.
But she has it in 2 languages, in Spanish and in English. And I would tell you, and I would highly recommend, if you're going to do Spanish speaking channel, I would have a Spanish speaking channel.
Yep.
You shouldn't have 2 separate channels with the same videos, with one in Spanish and one in English. You should have 2 channels. One is in Spanish and one is in English, because it confuses the audience, because not everybody's going to be speaking Spanish and not everybody's going to be speaking English. So make sure you have those audiences and your avatar understood when you're making these titles. The other thing I would say about that title is it's not very engaging.
Yeah, it's not something that you're going to want to click on, because that address means nothing to me. But if she pulled something from that and made a statement about that area, or that, like, what is it exactly? It's just, is it a house? Like, I don't know. Like, so it makes it to where I don't want to, I have the whole idea with the title and the thumbnail is to get people to stop scrolling and to click. You're trying to get them to click. And that to me is like, is it a home tour? It's 2 minutes. It can't be that great of a home tour if it's 2 minutes. So if I'm into home tours, so making sure that they're more statements and things that grab attention, rather than like, oh, it's an address. But again, it's probably partly because someone had coached them to say, putting in the address will help SEO reasons, and you can then find, this will be found more if you do that.
I'm going to just give her an example. This is a very small town, and these were videos that they did several years ago when they were listening to me. They stopped doing this. But anyways, they got the right kinds of views for the right kinds of audience for their video tours, because they did titles where they listened to me, like modern updated home for sale in Baton Rouge, homes for sale in Gonzales near Tanger Mall. Those are SEO type titles that people were searching that ended up on Google. Like if you were going to go down the SEO route, they would have spectacular views in a gated community on the Diversion Canal. That got them business. That was the kinds of things. These were the kinds of videos.
Because people don't know the address. They're not just going to type in this address. And if they do, then obviously like Zillow and like Trulia, all the other places are going to pull it up. So this is more for that. If you are going to go for that SEO version, using words that people would then search for,
Correct.
For that description, or the title rather.
Right. Like homes close to downtown Baton Rouge. Those are things that people look for,
Yep.
So they went down the SEO route. It really worked well for them. They were very happy. And then after I quit making videos for them, they never made another one again. Who knew?
So,
but that was my advice.
I would say the same thing. Is it's figure out, like, again, what's the purpose of it? Like, are you trying to sell it? Are you trying to get it? So if it is, like, you want to get an engaging title that's going to get people to want to click on it.
I concur. That's my favorite thing to say,
I concur.
I concur. Yep. So next week we'll be talking about another topic. So you're more than welcome to put your channel in again for the next topic we decide on.
Yeah, we're happy to go over these multiple times, and there are things that we can do, but as we have so many, we have to kind of go through them quickly.
Yep, we do. All right, so into the next one. All right, living in Michigan with Andrew McManaman. I can't say McManaman. Well,
let us know, Andrew, if we're saying it wrong. Let us know. Comment below, or we told it wrong, and you can spell it phonetically for us.
Yeah, my dyslexic brain is having a hard time with that one, just FYI. Okay, so let's get into the actual video titles in just a second. But he has gotten, in the last 30 days, over 10,000 views to his channel. All right. So, all right, we got some good thumbnails going on here.
Yeah.
All right. Birmingham, Michigan, the best place to live. What do you think about this title, Joe?
I like it. He has the question mark there. I think it would be better, like instead of
no one ever tells you about living in Birmingham, Michigan.
Exactly. It's saying the same thing, except for you're changing it from a question to a statement. And I think those are the biggest things when you're going to do that type of a title, is just think about that and rephrase it to how can I change that to a statement? Any of these titles.
Mm-hmm. The other thing too is you have the next video is about Michigan auto insurance. What does that have to do with real estate? I would, if you wanted to do about homeowners insurance, that makes sense, but that's kind of off topic with the theme of your channel.
More of that spaghetti against the wall where you're confusing your viewer of what you're doing.
Yep, I concur. And then Salem, Michigan, the place nobody wants to talk about. That was actually the most interesting title.
Yes.
And sure enough, it actually got more video views. Look at that.
Yep. I was just going to say the same thing, but it's a statement, right?
Mm-hmm. I would have done it backwards. So the place no one wants to talk about, Salem, Michigan.
Salem, yes. Have that at the end.
Yeah, but I'm sure someone taught him that you want to have your keywords front loaded.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what somebody told him one day. Oh, this one's pretty good, though. Is Fenton, Michigan actually affordable? That's actually a decent.
Yeah.
Decent one.
Yeah, his thumbnails are pretty good. I mean, they're
tight.
Yeah, there's obviously a couple of little things, but he's doing a good job. But it also shows, as he's releasing them. But again, it's one of those where you have to just be consistent, like understanding your audience, and then setting up those playlists so that you're not confusing them, and then YouTube will then find that audience, because that's the goal of YouTube.
I was looking at this title. It says everyone's leaving Texas to go to Michigan. I'm like, that's a really good title. Sure enough, it's one of his most popular videos.
Yeah. and the thumbnail is very, very simple too. He's got like a little cowboy hat.
Yeah. I love it. That's great. Yeah. You're on the right track. Just some small tweaks. You're definitely on the right track.
Yeah.
Do you concur?
I concur. I do think that it's one of those things that as you're doing the videos, maybe we talk just for 2 seconds about this, of how important it is to plan out your video rather than film everything and then try to come up with a title and a thumbnail. And when you do it the other way around, your content becomes a lot more clear because you already have that structure.
Yeah, and you have it in your brain as you're talking.
Exactly.
Yep.
I concur.
All right, we've concurred, and now we're on to the next one. All right, living in Memphis with Sarah. Oh, Sarah. Isn't it? No, it's no, that's another song. No, it's Sarah.
You be careful. We might have to, like that whole. YouTube
not with my singing skills. There's no way I'm getting flagged for that. All right, here we go. First title: The Art of the Deal. How we got more for our seller in Shingling Farm. Okay, you go first.
Okay. Well, first of all, titles need to be short. Like, you don't want
65 characters.
You don't want massive long titles. Make a statement and let your thumbnail help you tell that story. So like a way shorter title for sure.
And it would have been a statement like, we got more for our seller in Shingling Farm than anybody else.
Yep.
Make that statement.
Yeah,
I would have.
And then again, the common thing that it seems like we're seeing on a lot of these channel reviews is then they just use the exact same like words that they used in their title on the thumbnail.
Yes, yeah, and then she has her logo on there that's kind of floating in the air.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a scribble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take that off. You don't need the logo.
Yeah.
That's like one of those things like, I know branding coaches will say, you need to have your branding on there and you have to have your face in order for no. Your whole channel is your brand. You don't need to have special logos in order to stand out. That's for sure. So again, Sarah will get your house sold. So I would have said how I really get how like and capitalize really or even the word actually, how I actually get your house sold.
Yep.
You know.
I concur.
Mm-hmm. What kind of home can 240,000 buy in Bartlett, Texas? Tennessee, sorry, Tennessee. That's a great title. I would have done the thumbnail different, but the title's great.
Yeah, the thumbnail, I would have put the house on there or a house that's like that, really big and really nice. And then she's too small if she wants to be on there. Like she needs to be blown up to where you can see the white of her eyes. So
Bingo.
definitely important.
But you know what? Remember how we were talking about earlier when they were showing that listing, and I said, "Oh, you changed the titles. Look at this one. Welcome to the beautiful neighborhood of Shinling Farm." Look how like
right
5,600. So there's something to that. There's something to that. All right, we need to cruise on to the next one.
Yep, let's do it.
Okay. Oh, I know this one, so I'll let you go ahead and. Can you see her? Sharon?
Yeah, it's loading now. Yep.
Sharon. I don't know a song for Sharon. Okay. Discovered the 10 best reasons to move to Louisiana.
So
Baton Rouge versus New Orleans. Should you invest in property or let your kid live on campus?
Yeah, I guess it kind of. Again, it's probably more of like the spaghetti against the wall on these. There's not a lot of it's not coherent. I don't know. And not that you can't have those things, but it's having a specific like playlist in order. But discovering the 10 best reasons to move to Louisiana, it's a statement, but it's not. It doesn't compel me. It doesn't make me want to I would go like 10 things they don't tell you about Louisiana.
Moving to Louisiana.
Yes. Make it more of that kind of a statement. Always that almost like not a negative, but like a using words that are more dramatic.
Compelling.
Yeah.
Compelling and dramatic.
Yeah.
People love that.
Yeah, they do. And it doesn't mean that your content has to be that way. It's just understanding what the purpose of the title is, isn't it? And that's way more compelling when you use words that are riveting. So
you're right.
That's my thought.
That's your thought. The other one is like Baton Rouge versus New Orleans. Are you I'm confused. Are you talking about the food? Are you talking about the traffic? What is it about move? Like you're a real estate agent. So I'm sure you're trying to tell them, I would say the pros and cons of moving to Baton Rouge versus New Orleans or something like that.
Right. Yes. Having that, and then then the thumbnail, I think the thumbnail is okay. Like other than, I don't
think she needs to be on there to be afraid.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. She's kind of in the way of what you're trying to say. So everything else gets squeezed down and smaller. So you could actually make that a little bit bigger, and having the skyline of the two places, and even like a moving truck or something, just to give it like a little bit more of like, oh, that's real estate. Like looking automatically, it's not like you're saying like fine dining or the lifestyle of the two places. It's very clear what that person's going to be watching by the description and that and the thumbnail. And to me, same thing. I don't know what exactly it's versing.
Yep. This is one of those videos I'm actually going to be I need to watch. I'm actually going to buy a house for my kids because they both go to LSU. So I'm buying out there for them next year, I believe. So, anyways, yeah, she's right in my neck of the woods. It's
Yeah,
super nice.
but that one again, that title,
Mhm.
you could do just what you're saying, like investing in real estate. The title is very long. She could make that a statement, and your kids going to school, or
Mhm.
or I don't know, like on campus housing that they don't tell you the 10 shocking things or whatever,
Mhm.
and then you can go into like why having like investing in real estate off campus is better or on
Mhm.
campus,
Yeah. Well.
if that's what the video is about, which I'm assuming
Mhm.
it is it's like the
Mhm.
pros and cons of having a house or on campus.
Yep. Yep. Because even like these ones, like the real cost, that one did really well. Discover the differences between North Louisiana and South Louisiana. Look, that got 13,000 views.
Yeah.
But I would have done it like the huge differences between that. I would have
Yep.
done like that.
Just those, but that's the point, right? Is it's
Mhm.
just those little teeny tweaks that make
Mhm.
all the difference in your action on like that, your CPM.
Ooh, here's one that people should know. So when you use words like murder, death in the title, your content gets suppressed.
Yep, it will be suppressed.
Yep. I used one which was the word naked. I mean, the video took off like a rocket and instantly suppressed. It went from this and went like that. So, yeah, be careful of using words like that because your content will get suppressed. They know it's about, like, it's a real estate channel. You know that you're not talking about unaliving anybody, but, YouTube doesn't like it,
Yep. All
Just
right.
FYI, next one. Carmack Real Estate Group, your Twin Cities expert living in Minnesota. All right, let's go to the video titles. Here we go. 10, top 10 highest demand suburbs of Minnesota for 2023.
Top 10 highest demand suburbs.
I'm going to give you my first thing. Everybody knows we're in the year of 2023. Next year, it's going to be 2024. Do you think that anybody's going to be watching that video if it says 2023? Take it off there. Take it off. There's no reason at this point, this late in the season, to be putting the year of 2023 on there. Now, I will tell you this, a little secret, if people are actually watching this, is that in like October, in November, start adding 2024 in your videos. And sure enough, that will get people's attention even more because they're like, what the market's going to do in 2024. In October, boom, people are all over that. They are ready to click.
Yeah, but when we're halfway through the year, they're done. I agree. I do think that this, again, top 10 like highest demand subs, or like this, it could be the secret no one's telling you about in the highest demands of Minnesota. Or I know that, like, again, it's that statement that you want to put. And a lot of people, I think maybe this is a good chance just to chat for a second about like these live streams. Like, the reason Christina can rattle these off faster than me is because she's spent hours and hours and hours and hours going through and just making small tweaks to titles and seeing the results. And so as you do this, like, I think a lot of people just put it in as an afterthought, that they upload the video, they upload the thumbnail, they may have put some effort into the thumbnail, but they don't put that much into the actual title. And really understanding like your title will help you do your video. And so just think about, like, who cares if you spent 10 hours on your video if no one clicks on it and no one is compelled to stop to watch it? They're going to miss out on all that content. So you really have to focus on having a title that is going to get people to react. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things I think we could talk about in this as we're going through this, of why it's so important that we're just talking about one little teeny element, but how important you should, like, how much time you really should spend coming up with them. And bouncing
Small
ideas.
tweaks, big peaks. Small tweaks, big peaks. Not my catchphrase. That's Daryl use.
Yep. Yes, that's the thing. So like
Mhm.
and using those words, throw those in there. And if you were to do that and then test it, you're definitely going to see a difference because it becomes more compelling. People
Yeah.
want to click on it.
I have to say this. This thumbnail makes me laugh. This where he's on the little boat.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. But like I love it. I don't think that necessarily works for the title itself.
Right.
So I would take off this May 2023 update. I would take that completely off of there because by the time May is over, no one's ever going to watch it again. And you want people to watch your content. So I would have been like, the Minnesota housing crash started, and I would have made a statement. The Minnesota housing crash has started, period. Leave it. That's end of sentence. Don't put a question mark on there. And then you give them the information in the video.
Yep.
I wouldn't put a question mark. Because that means you're unsure of what you're about to say. You're giving them he doesn't even know what he's talking about because he's even questioning it,
Well, and then you have also like that whole point, but you move it to the statement. And then if they're like, well, they don't agree, well, guess what? They're going to click on there and watch it to try to find out if you know what you're talking about or not. And that's the whole idea of why you want to have these titles so specific. And you have to just mess with it. You have to just keep tweaking it until you feel like, okay, I've got this thing. And I think that's maybe something that we could talk really quickly about is it okay, Christina, like after you've uploaded a video, if it's not performing and you have some actual metrics to go, okay, like these things are going, like, is it okay to adjust a title after you've uploaded it?
Yes. But I will tell you this, and I will caution anybody I'm doing this. Before you change a title, mess with the thumbnails first and don't go through all of your content and start changing a bunch of thumbnails and titles. That's not going to help you at all. When you change a title, it almost, I won't say completely, but it almost like resets the video itself. So like, it's almost like you're starting from one, even though you have video views on there. So when you change a title, just know that. So you have to babysit it. And don't consistently keep changing the title 17 times in 1 week. Then you didn't even know what worked and what didn't work. Just either change the thumbnail first and then see what happens. If nothing happens, then later on, if it's still not working, then change the title and let it set it and forget it for, a few days just to see if it's going to work. If you have a lot of traffic going to your channel, you can change it a little bit sooner, but most likely with the type of views you're getting, I wouldn't let it sit time. I would give it a couple weeks to see if it's made a difference.
Yeah. And I think that goes back to like what you're talking about is you have actual metrics to then measure. Like I made this change, and when I made this change, boom, it took off. And I only made this tiny little change, but I think people get one, they may not have enough content so that YouTube can actually give them accurate data yet because they don't have enough content out there. And then two, they're just changing it all the time and it's screwing up like YouTube trying to do its job of finding that viewer. And so once you put it up there, 100% agree, like mess with the thumbnail. And then if it's not doing it, you could then mess with the title or, you make another video. Like that's what I would do.
If he's going to change a title, I want him to change this one right here because this is a very compelling thumbnail. It looks great, right? So I would say like something about, moving to Minnesota. So we'll just say the best ranked places to move to in Minnesota. That's what I like because this moving to Minnesota ? See the ranks. That just it's not compelling.
It doesn't say, hey, I want to click on this and see, I want to learn more about that.
Right, but the thumbnail's good. The thumbnail's really good. So you got a lot of good elements there, just small tweaks for bigger peaks.
Yep.
All right, next one. All right, we're homes in Vancouver.
All right.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about his titles. You go first.
Okay. I mean, Tom Ikonomu, is that how you say it? Ikonomu? I'm guessing
We'll just leave it
Remax
at
City.
Tom, and we're not going to try to butcher your last name. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. Remax City, proud user of. Okay, so like elf site apps. I don't like. What does that have to do with real estate?
I don't know. And then it says how to tell you if your prospect tenant is a hoarder. If it was me, I know we're talking about titles, but if you were to have a thumbnail, this is the perfect opportunity to show the inside of a hoarder's house where people are like wanting to throw up, like where there's rat poop or, like there's boxes all the way to the ceiling.
Piled to the ceiling, and there's
that was a perfect opportunity. Yeah. And I would have said,
your tenant is a hoarder.
Your tenant is a hoarder. That like blanket statement with that as a thumbnail.
Yeah. Again, and so is he. I mean, it looks like
he's using these for advertising.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that it's like it's kind of like he's just putting himself out there that he does real estate. But I mean, and I know we're only talking about the titles right now, but there really needs to be some cohesive stuff in here.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. I think you need to work on your content strategy.
Yeah.
Like who are you trying to talk to? You're talking to
you're talking to buyers,
you're
talking to sellers. Are you talking about property like investors? Like, because there's all different kinds of stuff in there.
Yeah, it's kind of like a spaghetti against the wall method you got going on here. Yeah. That's my advice on that.
Yep.
All right, my next one. Share this tab. All right. Uncovering Norman, Oklahoma and OKC Metro Realtors. 2 videos a month. 2 videos a month. Can you make that once a week? let's up your content to at least once a week. But at least they're honest,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Don't make this expensive mistake at a 7% interest rate. That's a great title.
Yep. The title's great. The thumbnail could use some work.
That's exactly right. Yep. Exactly right.
Cost of living in Oklahoma, and then it has the same thing on the title. It's also dated, and it was uploaded 3 weeks ago. So, like you said, we're very much aware we're in 2023.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So definitely, if you're going to do a cost of living breakdown, like again, finding those words that are dramatic, finding those words that are like the lies or the I don't know. I'd probably use some kind of like
no one tells you about the
no
cost
one
of
tells
living.
you about living in Oklahoma. Yeah.
No one tells you about the cost of living in Oklahoma.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, at least they're short.
Yeah, they are short, which is great.
They are short. Oh, look, see, she's nice and big here. This is good. See how big she is on the thing?
Yep.
But you don't need all these words on the thumbnail. I know we're not talking about thumbnails, but this title's a little too long. It says home buying in Oklahoma, how our team helps you find your dream home. And then I would just have it as our team is doing the best to get your home sold.
Yeah, she's saying
something like that.
Yeah, and she's talking about
this doesn't belong here, honestly.
I was just going to say that it's talking about a home buyer, and then everything else is like living. Does she have playlists? I know we're talking titles, but is this just all in one playlist?
Oklahoma Realtor explains new construction in Oklahoma. Oklahoma Realtor reacts. Living in Oklahoma, home tours. More in Oklahoma neighborhoods. Yeah, she's got some playlists.
Okay, I'm wondering on that if for the. Could you go back to the video again?
Mm-hmm.
So it's how to buy. So she has home buying in Oklahoma. Our team helps you find your dreams.
To me, this seems like an advertisement video.
It's 36 minutes. So she's obviously teaching something about buying things in Oklahoma. So maybe the title would be the things that you wish you would have known before buying a home or the things I wish I would have known before buying a home in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or, more of a, or don't fall for these lies,
When you buy a
again,
home in Oklahoma.
yes. The biggest mistakes people make when buying a home in Oklahoma.
Right.
The 5 biggest lies. So, yeah, I
like this one though. Why I like Oklahoma City more than Tulsa. That's a great title.
Yes, and it's always one of those that people like comparison too. So like that's a good thing to go. Okay, well, what's the difference between the two?
Mm-hmm. But see how like it's such a bold statement. Why I like it's like it's a good title.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okie dokie. On to the next one. Escape to Arizona, featuring Ryan the Realtor. Because if you, God forbid, you say realtor incorrectly, you get
realtor.
A realtor. I say it all the time. You know what? Do you know who cares about that? Other real estate agents.
Hey, know your audience. Know your audience.
The public could care less. Just FYI. All right, you go.
All right, so Mattamy Homes Empire Point, a Sterling collection. So it's like, sorry, the thumbnail is just
so
busy.
So much.
So I don't know what I'm going to watch with that. I don't know what that means. Like if it's, I don't know if it's like a builder and they have like a new community that's being released or something. I'm not really sure what that is. So definitely would work on it's like it may be a subdivision or something. And then there's some kind of like, it's the type of like model home. That's my guess. I don't know. So to me, cleaning up the title to make it really, really clear and really simple of what the video is about.
If this is a home tour, it is. So I would have said inside and then whatever the price point, let's just say these
$500,000 house or $1 million home.
Yeah. And then I would have a picture of the house. I'd take myself off of there. And then the price point.
The price of it really big, maybe go in and out between palm trees. Cause he's got some palm trees there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 100%.
These thumbnails. Wow. There's a lot going on them.
Yeah. I think it's just
these few, like these few right
everything
here.
Like the ones below them, they're actually a lot more simple.
Like this one's a good one.
Yep.
For the title, right?
Yeah. Go to the 1.5 million one, just down that says like Gilbert, Arizona.
Perfection.
Without us even looking, that's what we're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then look at the views of that one compared to some of the others.
Yep. He didn't even write Gilbert, Arizona on there, but
it's on the thumbnail.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't have to write that on the
thumbnail.
No,
it's redundant. Like like I would have had, because now what you're doing is you're covering up the pool and the amenity of what the luxury home is.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost would have put the number up above, like the price up above.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But even still, still did great. But that's the idea.
It's a lot more clear for sure.
This is super cute, but it's hard to read. Like the Power Ranch Easter. But
it looks like it's two different designers. It looks like someone designed them, and then it looks like the other videos that have been released are someone else designing them. It doesn't. The style doesn't look the same. It doesn't look like the same person designing them.
No. We got off track. We're talking about thumbnails.
We're gonna go down that path.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like for your titles though, because it's like Power Ranch basement home for sale. I would have been like, forget that. Like, too much. Nobody, I would have just said touring the inside of this cool basement home for sale. And then in your description, talk about the location and everything. They will
But
get
you
to the
don't need
right
it in the
audience.
title.
Yeah. It
Shorter,
will get to the,
titles.
yeah, the audience, the YouTube's not dumb. They'll get it to the right audience. And then the Tyler Gilbert Arizona tour, Gilbert Luxury Apartments.
Go back down real quick for a minute. I'm very curious about something.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like someone else was doing the titles too. Look at the titles. Like, for example, the one that with the pros and cons, living in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go up and look at the one that was just released. Like they're
different.
It's not the same. Even the way they capitalized the certain words and they did it. Like those little things matter.
It does. It does. This is a great thumbnail.
It is. Yeah, that's why I'm like, dude, it looks like someone did it and then came up with the titles, and then now whoever's doing it now is just like, here's the information, and they're trying to tell everything before the video even starts.
Take off this 2023 version. Take it off. Take it off.
Yeah.
Take it off. All right. On to the next one. You ready?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right. We got Kayla Rembert from the skyline to the suburbs. Here we go. All right. The towns at Bronx Farm, Plulet Townhomes. Okay, you go first.
Is it too long again? And if it's a home tour, then inside, same thing. What we were just talking about is that it needs to be inside. If it's not a home tour, then explain what you're talking about. Because right now she's doing like a talking head, and she's probably explaining the differences between that. So that's what should be in the description.
Yeah.
But a more condensed version.
Yeah. These are like just the same as everybody else. Let's make this more enticing, right? So Bronx Farm by Pullet Homes, new construction in Plainfield, Illinois. If we were gonna sexy this up, new construction that no one's talking about in Plainfield, Illinois.
Yeah. Well, and maybe it's not even what, like, you could do that, or you could do like that no one else is doing, like, or that's unique. Like, make that separation. Now it's again like,
or affordable, or
yes,
something like that.
Like, yeah, exactly. Making it, you could use affordable, or I don't know what the video necessarily is about, but I agree. Like, it needs to be that statement, and then having those extra, like the little teeny words that create, when you read it, you visualize what they're talking about, and I feel like these are it's just like pulled off of a flyer.
Right. Well, even this one, sell your Chicago condo. I would make this juicier. Yep. So first of all, I get off the 2023 because I've been saying that I like the whole entire stream. But I would say the real way to get your house or get your condo sold in Chicago, or the secrets of selling your home in Chicago, or the hidden ways that no one tells you about selling your condo in Chicago. Like,
yeah, I would have those things, and you could even incorporate the word like fast, or something that like creates that sense of urgency.
Or selling your Chicago condo at top dollar.
Yeah.
In a competitive market.
Yeah, they're definitely just like what we've been talking about. It seems like they just need to spend a little bit more time processing the title and keeping them shorter and more of a statement. Right.
Yeah, and just juicier. I think, because what happens is that as well as I do, that these, like, you get these gurus that tell you that oh, you're gonna You're going to have to
Yep.
find the special keyword.
Yeah, you got to get the
title.
keyword and you got to do this
What's your
SEO.
score? Where's your score? So that way you can be found with Google Juice.
Yeah.
I've heard them say that. They're like, if you find a good score, you'll have a really good Google Juice. I heard that. I nearly fell out of my seat. I'm like, this is an expert making a ton of money and she has no idea what she's talking about.
Yeah. I think that, but that's a really good point, is that it's not about necessarily finding the Google juice or whatever. It's finding consistency and like making things simple, but you're also encouraging and enticing. You're just spending more time on it to, like, to really get someone to do something, a call to action. That's really what you're doing. And I think people just, they go over it so quickly and don't put enough emphasis on it, because they think, oh, well, if I put the keywords in, then it'll be found.
Yeah. It's not an encyclopedia. It used to be that way. It didn't used to work that way, but it doesn't work that way
It does not now.
No. All right. We have moving to Columbia, South Carolina with Sandra Sturkey. Hello, Sandra. My mom's name is Sandra. They call her Sandy. Anyways, pros and cons of living in Lexington, South Carolina.
Yeah.
From California dreams to South Carolina reality. Escaping South Carolina, the ultimate New Yorker's dream. All right, what you think?
I think they're for the most part, they're pretty short, and some of them are statements, kind of, but it's not juicy.
It's not enticing.
Yes, she's not like over complicating it, but there's little teeny tweaks that you could put in there to make it more enticing.
Right. So I know that every real estate agent under the sun, as soon as they start making videos, has been told, make pros and cons videos. But at some point, every real estate agent has made that video and everybody's seen it. So we have to come up with another way of, other than saying pros and cons. Think of the real costs of living in South Lexington, South Carolina.
Yeah, it's like what I thought, and here's the reality.
Yeah,
you're saying the same thing. It's just using different words.
Right. Exactly. That's when that thesaurus comes out. I use it.
Exactly. Like, what's another word for this?
Yeah, I'm a thesaurus freak. I use it often because I'm tweaking the same title a lot. I do it often. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that those can be a little more punchy, just a little bit more. They're not bad. It's just they're like,
I don't even understand what this is about. From California dreams to South Carolina reality. Is it like I
think it's the verses. I think these are all verses. Yeah.
Yep.
You wouldn't know.
So I would say why South Carolina is why people. The real reason people are moving from California to South Carolina.
Or you could even go more. California sucks. There's like things where you can be a little bit more bold in your statement, and from I don't know, like mass exodus from California. There's tons of things that you could do with that, but again, it's just spending a little bit more time.
This is what I would put, like, escape. New Yorkers are escaping to South Carolina. That's
fleeing. Fleeing
droves to South Carolina, or moving, and they have a moving truck with a for sale sign in the thumbnail.
And then you could have, if you wanted like something with South Carolina, then you could have them being like, uh-oh, like, like, oh, now like these guys are coming here, they're taking over.
Yep. Darn New Yorkers. Yep. I'm from New England, so I know everybody hates me because I'm in the South. And then this one right here, discover the magic of riverbanks, zoo, garden. This doesn't belong here.
Yeah.
This doesn't relate to real estate. I know that you're
trying to do a location, and this is like one of the perks of living here, but it is not. It's not, unless you had a playlist that you were talking about specific like amenities and things for that area. But these are all pros and cons. They don't have anything to do with. It's just that spaghetti against the wall where you just kind of
The
like, oh,
camping ones too.
yeah,
The
I saw this video. I'm going to go
Mhm.
make one like that. And then,
Mhm.
because it took off because someone, knew their audience.
Yeah. 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 Like the summer
The
camps. This is
summer
a real
camp.
estate channel, right? And so are you selling camps? Are you selling camping? Like this doesn't belong here. Just
Yeah.
FYI. Just
Okay.
FYI. Next one. Okay. Learn about living in Charleston, South Carolina. I have to tell you this. This is the true story. So because of the way it was put into the form, I was looking for your channel and it didn't have an actual clickable link. So I had to like search through for your name. Do you know how many channels are named living in Charleston, South Carolina? I want you to take a guess. Take a guess, Joe.
I'm gonna say actual channels.
Yes.
A couple hundred.
I saw 10. I saw 10 with that name living in Charleston, South Carolina. I saw 10 channels.
But all
That's a
agents
lot.
all agents do some kind of living in.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
That was another guru thing. They said you would get. I heard this one. A guy said you'll get more Google juice if you name it the area you live in because Google knows they'll recognize it, and then you'll reach the top page of Google if you name it with your town name in the channel name.
But again, it brings up the whole thing of like, what's the point of doing these videos if you're so hyper focused on one specific location? Like it's missing the whole point of what this is about.
Right. But
right.
That's for a more complex conversation that's for in the course. If you really want to know more about that, join the course. There's a link that's pinned in the comment section. You can check it out there.
Okay, so under 400K, new construction home in Charleston's hottest spa. So her title's too long.
a little under, like a little too long, right?
Yeah.
But I don't hate the title. I hate the thumbnail. And I would get those 2023s off the top.
I would even change it to like what you get, or what 400K like
gets you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. In the hottest spots. And just know that you don't have to put Charleston in the title in order for your video to be found. If you do that within the first couple sentences of your description,
it'll be found.
It'll be fine. And that is the whole reason for your tags. I know that some of you spend a lot of time finding, the magical tags that go into your video. But if you just literally just think about it and just type in what comes to your brain, like this, I'm a real estate agent, just put real estate agent, realtor, homes for sale, and Charleston, South Carolina. That's all. Yeah. And then your name in there. Those are the tags you should be using, not magical scored ones.
Not Google juiced scored. I'm going to say that the rest of this live stream now. So that brings up another thing. You don't have to have in Charleston in there, but this is kind of a little bit more, but even if you're talking about like living like under 400,000, you could talk about anywhere, cast that wider net, and then you can drop in your video when you're actually speaking. Like, for example, I'm in Charleston. Now you have a little location so that if people want to know where you're at. But adding that in your location, again, just for the SEO purposes, you don't need it.
And I would say flood zone facts you need to know before you buy a home. Boom.
Yes.
That's it. And then I would take off that buy in a flood zone thing. Like,
well,
honestly,
you got all the 2023s, all of those need to be gone off the thumbnails. Like, that's.
Yeah, but it's so obvious. Like, if the water in the house underwater is so compelling, right? If she took the words off of there, you'd see
except
the watermark.
I was just going to say, except for you can't see it because the words are in the way
Right.
of actually saying it. And so that's the point with the thumbnail is less is more sometimes. Like you can tell a story by having a good thumbnail. You don't have to tell the story and then write all the words on top of it because you think people don't get it.
Right. And they do. They do. All right. People are picture people.
Yeah.
I love this. This is so cute. His little man.
It's for sale.
Yeah, I love it. That's cute. Anyway, that's probably one of my favorite channel banners I've seen today. Like, I love that. All right, your thumbnails though are so busy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's the same thing basically. You know, they're the same words and the title they're the exact same.
Yeah. The same story we're telling everybody. There's nothing compelling about these. There's no reason to ever put the word part 4 or episode 60, because once you do that, if it's episode 60 and they haven't seen the other 59 episodes, they're going to be like, oh, I've missed 59 episodes. I'm not going to watch that, you know? So I learned that the hard way. I've done that myself. So I would take that off, make these more compelling. But I want to talk. I know we're not talking about thumbnails, but I can't help myself. First of all, you have way too many words on here. I love your little cartoon dude. I think he's really cute. Don't get me wrong. But I will tell you from personal experience, because I used to have a little cartoon character I used. It doesn't necessarily get people to click on it. It get me to click on it, but I'm not your avatar.
It doesn't resonate. It doesn't resonate with your audience.
It doesn't. Not at all. Other thing is like this one right here, where you have all these words. They're so difficult to read on a thumbnail, especially think about it on your phone, right? If you upload a video, the first thing I want you to do once you upload it is look on your phone and see if you can read it with plain eyes. I did this yesterday. I did a thumbnail. I thought it was really great. I had the word unaffordable on there. As soon as that thing was uploaded, I was like, well, let me see what it does. And it was doing garbage. Soon as I changed that word out and took that off of there, boom, the video takes off. Less is more when it comes to your thumbnails, and less is more when it comes to your titles too, as long as they're compelling.
Yeah, but that's a great point. Is again, you know what you're looking for, and so as we're doing these channel reviews, like that's the thing is it's like, hey, I have my metrics. I know what I know what this video should do because it's a really good video and it's a really good thumbnail and it's a really good title. And then it's like those, just like what you were saying earlier, those small tweaks will give you those high peaks that Daryl always says. So it's one of those things where if you can just, like, for whatever reason, and if you're designing them yourself, like when you first start, it's like you almost have to like put everything on there because you're trying to feel like, oh, I got to make it, I don't want to leave anything off. And it almost feels like not finished if you don't have like a bunch of stuff on there. And it's really, really hard to get out of that mentality and go, you know what, like I'm not going to put that on there, or I'm going to put way less on there, or I'm going to be more descriptive rather than telling it with words. I'm going to be descriptive with my images, and your title can help you. It can help tell that story. And that's why it's so important that you take advantage of both of those, because you know, it's one of these things where I don't know if like you do this or not, Christina, but this is what I do. Like if I don't know what to watch on Netflix, I'm scrolling through and I'm looking at the thumbnail.
Yeah, I know.
And if the thumbnail catches my attention, I stop and I read the description.
Yeah, I don't know how many times people say, don't judge a book by its cover, but we all do it. Every single person does it.
Yeah.
Make your cover as good as possible. One more thing before we jump to the next one is that you have this picture that you use consistently where you have yourself to the side. If you notice, it cuts off your shoulder. So it looks like someone took scissors to your arm and cut it off. So you can fix that with like an AI generator if you want to, or you can even do that in some editing software. But don't use that one anymore where it cuts off your arm.
Yeah, make sure you finish rounding your shoulder out there.
Right, round it out. So, but the size of it's right. Yes. The size of his face is right. All right, next one, because we're over time already. All right, we're going to share this tab right here. Real Mom Real Estate North Dallas. I know who this is. Rebecca Rebecca, Becca, hi, Mecca, honey, honey, ho. Unveiling the value, what to expect from a $1 million dollars in McKinney. That's
a lot. I mean, number one, I probably, if I was going to change that, I would do $1 million home, and I would have it in the like numeric. So I wouldn't write out $1 million.
Right.
And
I just put 1M.
Yes, exactly.
1 and M.
And yes, and then I would put
in McKinney, like the true value of $1 million in McKinney, Texas.
Yeah, not what to expect, or yeah, I get what she's trying to say.
Right.
Is like, okay, these are, this is the type of home you should get for this price point. But
the thumbnail is bomb diggity bomb.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks great. Yep.
Chef's kiss on that thumbnail.
Yeah,
like,
that's a great thumbnail.
Nitpicking
a little bit for me, and this is more of a design preference, is I would fatten up the font just a little bit. But other than that,
you're being
I know, but I'm just saying, but it's a great thumbnail.
Yeah.
It will give you the Google juice that you need.
We're Google juice. Yeah, but her thumbnails are good. I would try to bring down your titles down to 65 characters.
Yeah, they're too long.
And then seeking serenity, explore the tranquil suburbs of that's there's so much going on there. That title, I would be I would just say, instead of explore, what tranquil suburbs really look like in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
It's a bold statement.
Discover the secret suburbs of near Dallas.
The secret tranquil suburbs of Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah. People love secrets.
They do.
Like secrets and lies. And crashes and collapses.
Yep.
And then I know this is one of those ones that people always, they do good enough, are the top 5 best cities to live around Dallas, Texas. How could you make that juicier?
The top 5, let me read it here. The top 5 best cities to live around Dallas.
Uh-huh.
I don't is she talking the suburbs or what? I guess she's talking about the suburbs. Okay. I had to look at her thumbnail to see what she's talking about, but it worked.
Yeah.
So I would, I don't know if I would say top best cities to live around. Mm-hmm. I would just say
the 5 cities
to live
around. 5 cities no one's talking about.
Yes.
Around Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, or the best cities, period. Something more of that
impact.
Statement. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm liking your thumbnails now. These 4 are nice. Right here, these 4 are good. This one I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah, it's the kind of the pose is just a little bit off.
I don't like the background.
Yeah. I don't even know what the background is. Is that a sky or is it a house?
It's sky with house. I don't know. Anyways, we're not doing thumbnails.
All right,
we're not doing thumbnails.
Sorry.
All right, here we are. Tim. All right. Pros and cons of living in Snellville, Georgia. Top pros and cons of living in Roswell, Georgia. That's my hometown. Matter of fact, I was a Roswell Hornet. I was the mascot for my high school in 1992. Go Hornets. No lie. This is
I actually believe that. Actually.
100%. Yep. 1992 graduating class. I was the Hornet.
Yeah, again, it can be a pros and cons is totally fine, but it would be focus on the top, the 5 lies or the 5. I don't know if there's 5. I'm just using that number, but let's just say how would you put that? The top pros and cons of living in.
Every single one of his videos is a pros and cons.
I know. So I'm trying to think of it the things that I wish I knew or wish that you should know living here.
Yep. moving here, living here,
Yeah. Like not
buying here.
yeah.
But it like the
Don't
I
make
know,
these mistakes.
yeah, don't make these mistakes living in Roswell, Georgia.
Yeah.
The real cost of living in Snellville, Georgia.
Yeah.
What no one tells you when you move to Cumming, Georgia. That
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Make
Yeah.
it more.
So, yep, agreed. Like more of the, especially if they're all like that or home tours or whatever, like
Mhm,
they need to be that. If that one's a home tour, then it would be inside, like
mhm. Yep.
inside
Mhm.
new construction.
Home tour.
Yep.
Um, I know this will be the last time I can't help myself with the thumbnail. So
I don't
the
believe you, actually.
well, this is the last one, so I'm not lying. But it's the thumbnail itself has the same words as the actual title. So you've repeated the title on your thumbnail. You
Yep.
like the title is just that, the title. The words on the thumbnail should compel people to click. There's nothing with the words that you're using that compels somebody to click. So I would think about that. Your thumbnail should tell the story of your title without with you trying to use no words whatsoever.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that you can't, like, since we're on thumbnails really
Mm-hmm.
quickly, it doesn't mean that you can't have, like, separate it out into thirds and have different things on there to help tell your story. It's more, you just don't want to duplicate the words with what your title is.
All right. So look, I'm just because it is me.
Yeah.
So like this right here tells a story of what the freaking video is about without even like those used words, but it's very simple to read, and you kind of get the gist of what I'm going to be talking about in that thumbnail before you even read the title. That's the whole idea. The same with the second one. There is an image that's there that shows the Home Depot tag and colors. With a split second, that's a Home Depot branding right there.
But that goes right back to what you're talking about is you also know who your viewer is. You
Mm-hmm.
know who your audience is, and so you've made the content consistent so that when your viewer shows up,
Mm-hmm.
it's what they're interested in.
Right. Well, here, this one, I didn't even use any words. I
No,
mean, the sign had words on it, but no, there's no words.
Exactly. It's still, and that's what I was talking about. It's where it's like
Mm-hmm.
that third, right? You have a third
Mm-hmm.
of it is you got the flag, you got it burning, you've got yourself, and then you have another third with the home and the for sale sign. And so automatically, it's real estate because you got the for sale sign there. You know that something's not happening or that's not good because of your facial expression that, oh my gosh, like this is the collapse. And then fire is, with destruction, right? Like, so there's
Mm-hmm.
these things. And so just putting some extra effort into those things make for great thumbnails with no words on them.
I concur. And with that, we have given you a lot of valuable information. And if you want more valuable information, you could always sign up for our YouTube Video Geeks course.
Heck
What do you
yeah.
think? Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And the thing is, guys, please continue to submit, and you can submit multiple times if you like, as we do a different, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll do thumbnails, we'll do descriptions, we could do about, like, we'll do, the channel art, all of that kind of stuff. Like, feel free to fill it out again. We would love to give our
Mm-hmm.
honest feedback and review. And if you don't agree, talk to us. Like, we're totally happy to chat and discuss why we say the things that we're saying. But like Christina says, the really good stuff is inside the course.
Look, Jeremy Blanton was here, and I didn't even see that much. I guess he was talking about my copyright strikes. He's like, "Oh, you better watch out for those copyright strikes." I wasn't sure if anybody was really watching. I know everybody watches on the replay.
Yeah, the replay, but I had it on full screen, so I didn't even see it until just barely. But yes, that's, again, hopefully you guys found that information valuable, and that we're more than happy to continue to do these reviews. We love YouTube, and we love doing this kind of stuff. So thanks again, guys, for watching.
Yeah, Jeremy says we're a slacker. I'm such a slacker. All right. Oh, he's been listening the whole time.
Yeah, he's
Well, I appreciate the support.
while working on my YouTube leads. Nice.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy has had some individual training with me, so his channel went from to like it's giving me business. That Christina knows what she's talking about.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, anyways, all right, everybody. See you next Thursday. Say goodbye, Joe. Say goodbye. Goodbye, Joe. You're supposed to say goodbye, Joe.
Google juice.
Yeah, more Google juice. We just need more.
We need more Google juice.
Yeah, I just need to put